he needs to get with one definitely needs to get with a nutritionist, but I think he needs to get with the NFL trainer. And minus the weightlifting, that's the type of like workouts that he needs to be doing.
Okay. Yeah.
That's what I think. He has to think outside the box with regards to just like his body type. Because
he is, bro. You're right. DeMarcus Lawrence looking ass. He's fucking just
like for real, dog. For real. Oh, Booger McFarland looking motherfucker. Like,
have you seen that picture people do of him? They're like Josiah in 30 years.
This is uncle. I'm guaranteeing this is uncle, bro. Like.
And now, ladies and gentlemen in attendance, and boxing fans join us around the world, live from AT&T Stadium, home of the Dallas Cowboys, it's showtime! Please welcome one of the stars of boxing today, tonight in his 7th consecutive world title appearance. Ladies and gentlemen, here's the popular and acclaimed, reigning and defending, undefeated IBF and WBC welterweight champion of the world, introducing the truth, Errol Spence Jr.
I do miss Deep Ellum, bro. Think about it every day.
Deep Ellum is a spot, bro.
Right. We're thriving down there. Man. It was a good time, man. It was good being down there, seeing that whole area, seeing Spence.
Yeah, it was fun.
Get the win. It was a good card. All 3 fights in the main card were knockouts, so
I know.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
It was a good
what was the guy's name that had the undercard before Cruz?
Oh yeah, with the first round knockout.
Oof.
Yeah, that was brutal.
Vicious too.
Yeah, man.
That was vicious.
Yeah. It was. And then Cruz went like Mike Tyson style with it. It was just
kept coming, man.
Yeah. That was crazy. And then we just got to see Spence be so tactical with it and just lump him up, you know. It was
yeah, Spence. I mean, you could tell the first couple of rounds he started to close that airspace between him and Ugas. He was just coming in. That uppercut was just
on the eye over and over again, man. Yeah, it was a good fight. I had there's a pro at my gym I was talking to yesterday, and he was like, we were kind of getting into it. He was like, I wasn't impressed. He was like, that was fixed. That 4th round was absolute bullshit. Like Ugas should have like went in on him and stuff like that. And I was like, that was bizarre, but I'm not going to go as far with you to say that was fixed. And Ugas just gave up.
I mean, Ugas, he the one that didn't follow up. He's not.
Yeah, that was bizarre. That was very weird, but it was a really good fight, man. Yeah, I can't complain. That was a good first experience, especially being at Cowboy Stadium, sold out like that. Whew.
That boy was jumping, man.
It really was. He's a superstar out there.
You got to see Texas live.
Yeah, that was fucking dope. The whole thing was sweet, man. It was cool. So what next? Is it like you think Spence Crawford? Is that the only thing to be made?
I feel like that has to happen. I mean, they're calling each other out. And I think from what I was reading is it looks like they were the only thing that was really kind of holding them back was just the promoters. And now that Crawford isn't under the promotion team that he was under, now he's more free agent. They can actually kind of make the fight happen. So
yeah, let's make it happen, bro. If I'm both of them right now, like you said, I think they have more wiggle room to get that done. But even if they didn't, I was thinking about this the other day, and it's like, I have the perfect way if they're both willing to do this to solve this. You just go, okay, I am retiring unless my next fucking fight is Crawford and vice versa. Like, and then what are the promoters going to do, man? Like you're going to lose out on me and just like, I am not fighting until this is my next fucking fight. So it's like, if
my thing is, why do they want to miss that, like that money that is there? And then whoever loses, you just give them a rematch. You know?
Exactly.
You literally have just a rematch. It's so much money to be made.
You're so right.
Out of them two fighting.
It's a good question. That's like the thing with boxing in general is these promoters, like, why do they hold these fights from us? And like you kind of just alluded to it. Is it just because the promoter of one is afraid of them losing and like there goes all their like undefeated star power muster? But like you just said, put a rematch clause in there. Let's do 2, you know? Like,
right. I mean, if you look at what happened with like the Wilder and Fury fights, like
huge.
We had a trilogy out of that, and those and those fights were just crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, best fights in recent memory, honestly, bro.
So
Yeah. So what do you think? Is that if you had to, if that happens next, which I would assume would be like a year out, because that's one of those mega fights that would take a while to get details done, maybe like the end of this calendar year or into next summer.
well, where would that be? That would have to, would that have to
Has
be
to be
in
Vegas.
Vegas?
That's like one, Vegas is the mecca of, that's just where it have to be, bro. So get ready. That's our next trip. So
Hey, Catchweight
yeah.
in Vegas. I'm down for it.
Mm-hmm. But what would you think? I mean, like that's pretty much a toss up for me. I'm probably gonna go Crawford because I'm more of a Crawford fan. But like, I don't know. They're both
Yeah,
southpaw. They're both technicians. Like that is such an intriguing fight to me, just because I don't know where that would go.
yeah. I don't know where it would go either. I actually think I may lean more Spence. I think Spence may have a little bit more power.
Mm-hmm.
But that'd be a crazy, crazy fight, man. It's a lot of fights that are going to be coming up here soon, though. I think I
Mm-hmm.
sent you that list of just
Mm-hmm.
fights that are supposed to be coming up.
Yep.
But
It's a good
yeah,
time for
that
boxing.
it is. You watched the Fury.
Oh yeah, bro. I watched it twice. I rewatched it last night to kind of like because when I first watch a fight, it's all like emotion. You don't know what's gonna happen. But like when I rewatch a fight, I'm able to kind of like analyze each round and like I know kind of like where they're going. So I like doing that. And I bought it on pay-per-view, so you can go back and rewatch it. And oh man, the first go around, like I said, I can't really analyze it as well. Obviously, the knockout was fucking crazy. But then I rewatched it last night. It was just a masterclass, bro. I mean, the first 5 rounds, Fury just jab, jab, 1-2, 1-2, got White used to that. And then that 6th round, man, he was like, okay, right uppercut, lights went out, right on the chin. Like he's a maestro, man.
He is. Dude is sick.
Yeah.
And it doesn't seem like he's going to fight Usyk.
No, it sounds like, yeah, he's saying he's done. And if that's the case, like where I am seriously now, like not just necessarily because of White, because White wasn't necessarily on his level, but just in general, since his career is coming to an end, like I gotta say, like he's probably in the top 5 most talented heavyweights I've ever seen fight, man. Like he's got to be put up there.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like that. I don't think we got to see all of his career because of, with him having to just deal with his mental issues. So we didn't get to really see the, him kind of go up against some other people, like maybe going up against Joshua or anything like that. But I mean, you're not lying, man. The dude, for as big as he is, his skill it's insane. Like his head movement, his pimp, like he literally has this great just accuracy with his punches. I mean, that dude, he's light on his feet. It's insane.
It really is, man. And and he's got personality. Not that that means anything when you're talking about greatest of all time, but like just his ability to like he glues you to the screen, like with his antics and the shit he does, and he wants to put on a show. I mean, and you just said it too. How are you that big and you move like a middleweight like that, man? Like I mean, the footwork
is insane, bro. But then we're talking about him and Francis Ngannou.
Yeah, and the guy who got in the ring afterwards. You see that? That was crazy.
Man,
yeah,
like what?
They're saying like boxing rules, MMA gloves. I was like, that would actually be very interesting.
That would be insane.
Yeah,
bro.
yeah, just some crazy exhibition type shit. And good for Francis. He deserves a big payday, so that'd be cool to see.
Yeah.
That was crazy. The whole atmosphere, I was watching it from here and just on TV, and just like Wembley was fucking wild.
They had 90,000 plus in there.
Bro. It was bumping.
What?
Yeah. Just during the walkouts, I was sitting there. I said to my boy, I was like, "That must be the biggest adrenaline rush ever." Just coming out to that,
like, especially this in your home crowd too.
Right, man. Whew. Absolutely crazy. But I mean, hats off. What a fucking career. If that is it, I would love to see him, try to go undisputed and fight whoever wins Joshua Usyk. But I mean, with the evidence that we have, I just look at him and I'm like, who's beating him? Like when you look at the history of heavyweights, I mean, Lennox would probably match up pretty well because of his height, but like, there's not a lot of people I would look at and be like, he'd give anyone problems, I mean,
the Klitschko's.
Mm-hmm.
One of the Klitschko's could probably, because they're just as big, maybe a little bit more power. I don't know about like from a skill standpoint, like how well
Yeah.
But,
I mean, when he beat Vlad, that was kind of the end of Vladimir's career. So yeah, maybe.
Right.
Yeah. But and the thing that's crazy too is it just seems like in the last two Wilder fights and now this fight, before that he was just a boxer to me. It's like now it's like, where did this one punch knockout power come from, bro? Like he's got hands now. And I think it might have been switching to Sugar Hill as his trainer, and they really started working on the power behind his punches. But he now has like power punching in his bag too, which makes him even more dangerous, you know?
Yeah.
That punch was so clean, like just right on the chin, and just shoved him to the ground.
Well, shit, his brother did the same damn thing, didn't he?
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's another thing, bro. I don't know if you saw that. I was not impressed with that. That fight was just like, I was like,
it looked like a mess.
Yeah, bro. Like he couldn't take that dude out. That dude looked like a scrub. No offense to him. I mean, like respect to all fighters, and he had a tough chin because he stayed in there. But like Fury couldn't get that guy out of there, you know, in 8 rounds. It's like I would actually like to see him and Jake Paul. That actually might be a better fight than people are giving it credit for, you know.
Did you hear what he said though? He was talking mad shit.
Yeah, I don't even have to train.
Like I wouldn't need a training camp. Like
we'll see about that, bro.
Don't get out there and get embarrassed.
Yeah, man.
Jake done embarrassed a couple people now. Like
yeah.
Like I do question Jake as being able to really go up against a boxer, but don't.
Exactly. Me too. But I don't know. Again, that was not. I mean, the dude he went up against was an unknown, and he just looked. I mean, it was a very average
technically, performance. He's kind of an unknown too, as well. The only reason why he's known is because of the fact of his brother. So, yeah.
I would pay for that fight though, even though like I don't think that like that'd be the only. It's crazy how little skilled I think either of them are, but just because I feel like it would match up well in the storyline behind it now, it's like what would actually happen? He's going to fight a real boxer, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I think that would definitely be a big draw. Definitely a big draw.
Yeah, man.
Definitely be a big draw.
But there's other big ones coming up. I think Shakur Stevenson's going to fight Valdez here soon. That should be a good fight.
Yeah, that should be a good fight. Yeah. And then I saw somebody call out Ryan Garcia. Who was it?
I don't know. He's a lightweight, so
was it Cruz?
That'd be awesome. Yes, remember it was it was after the fight.
Yeah, it was Cruz at the fight. He called out Ryan Garcia.
That'd be a good stylistic matchup because Ryan's pretty boy, like fast hands, like move around, box. Cruz is just coming forward.
Coming at you, bro. I'll see why they call him Pitbull because he just comes, bro.
Yeah, that right hook was nasty, bro.
Man. I mean, just from the outset of that first round, he was on dude's ass, bro.
He really was, man. He really was. So that'd be a good fight. The dude that beat Tio, Kambosos, is about to fight Devin Haney, who's got the other lightweight.
I saw that. I saw Australia.
So that should be cool.
That should be good too.
And then I assume if Loma gets out of like the war or whatever's going on with that, like obviously, God bless all those people, but like I assume he would take the winner of that, you know, try to get all the belts back. So
yeah.
Boxing's in good.
Then don't the Charlo not Charlo, Jesus.
Charlo brothers?
Yeah, don't they have fights coming up too?
I think so. One of them had a draw with the last person he fought, and I think that dude won. I forget the dude's name, but he really impressed me. So that'll be an interesting rematch. And then I don't know who the other Charlo's fighting, but he's got a fight coming up too. So there's a lot, man.
It is. I'm
excited. To look forward to, bro.
It's gonna be a hell of a summer.
It really is, man. And then Joshua Usyk too. So a lot to look forward to.
It is.
We'll have a lot of coverage on that shit. So yeah, but do you think is Fury like for you like top 5 heavyweight? Can you put him up there?
So who do you have in your top 5?
Oh, that's like I haven't like written a list, but like obviously you had to have Muhammad Ali. I'm gonna put Tyson Fury in there. There's no order to this. This is just like who I'm having in my head. So those two.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have Lennox Lewis in there just because same thing with Fury, like as historic as his career was, but also just looking at his build and his skill, like it's just like he would give anyone problems, you know. So those 3 for sure. Then it's hard because it's like, do you go historic? Like I'm a huge Jack Johnson fan. I love watching like those fights.
Jack Johnson was a fucking
right. And I love like everything about what he stood for. And like, he was a fucking crazy, like just like a badass gangster dude. Like this sounds nuts, but you gotta think this was like early 1900s. So like even him just like openly being like, these are my white girlfriends was just like pissing everybody
off. He didn't give a fuck, bro.
Yeah. He was a fucking dog, man. Dressed up in suits everywhere he went, you know, and this is like height of racism. Like So
Okay,
dog.
people get lit for that shit.
So yeah, like historically, I would want him up there, but like that's almost like a Bill Russell pick for me because the game was so not evolved yet that like obviously I don't think Jack Johnson would be able to do anything with like a heavyweight today. You know what I mean? But just for historical purposes, like I'm a huge Jack Johnson fan. I don't know, man. So that's 3. No, it's 4. Probably Evander Holyfield. I'd probably put him
I was
as
about
5.
to say, if you about to leave Holyfield off your list,
Yeah, I mean
that's
Holyfield beat, so many people. Like he went through the whole cruiserweight division, went undisputed, and then moved up to heavyweight. Beat Mike Tyson twice. Had a crazy trilogy with like Riddick Bowe. He couldn't beat Lennox, but he gave him some fights. He was, Holyfield is a fucking dog. And to see him like keep his composure after getting his fucking earlobe bit off and like still,
bro.
Like that dude was a fucking warrior. So I'm gonna have
Yeah.
it. What about you?
Yeah, so I mean, of course, I would have Ali, Holyfield. I think I'll throw Lennox in there.
We're getting Joe Frazier though, bro. Fuck.
Yeah, that's the thing. You think Frazier, Foreman.
That's what's tough. Putting him top 5
because like the Klitschko brother, like it's.
It is tough because it's such a long history of the sport. It's like there's so many, Rocky Marciano went 49-0. It's like you can't forget that. It's tough, but I guess I just look at the dimensions of Fury and go like, I can't leave him out.
I don't know. I can't. I don't. I don't know if I could. I don't know. Honestly, I just don't know.
Yeah.
There's just so many names that I feel like are being overlooked.
Yeah, it is tough. You're right, man. Well, okay, if he fights again and wins undisputed, would that solidify that for you, do you think?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But it's not like he had a hell of a career.
Yeah, he's won every day.
As well. Man. I just don't. I wish we wouldn't have missed out on that time when he was just kind of getting his mental state together.
Yeah.
I think that could have helped as well.
You're right.
But
kind of added to the aura of it, though, if you think about that, too. You know what I mean? He could have lost during that time. That was crazy. I mean, we saw dude blow up to like 400 pounds and then come back and do that. Like, so, talk about verge of suicide, all that stuff. It's like, so that like almost adds to the legacy of him, So
For sure. Yeah. I don't know. I think if he's not in there, I think he's on the cusp of it.
Yeah. Definitely just
I think definitely from the skill set standpoint, easily.
Mm-hmm.
Easily. I would probably even put him top 3 as far as the skill set.
Yeah. God, yeah. Just the footwork and like you said, the head movement. And when you watch him, he's so awkward. Like it looks like it'd be so hard to like figure out what you want to do to him because you're moving so weird, bro.
He's steadily moving. It's just constant movement but
he's a switch hitter. He'll come out southpaw some rounds. Like, bro.
Yeah. And like I said, it's just he's accurate as fuck, bro. Like super accurate for him to be that big and to move that quick. Like his hands are quick as fuck for him. That's a big dude and he can move. And I think that's the biggest thing that's so impressive is that, like you said, he can move like a welterweight. His hands are quick, and now he's developing his power. His skill set is
33 too. It's like he really could keep fighting for a while. So it's like, but I give him respect, and I will say, I saw Kamaru Usman on a podcast, and he made a brilliant point with that because he's undefeated, and they were like, when will it be it for you? They were talking about Khabib retiring, and he kind of went off on a little tangent about like, he's like, our world is so programmed with these undefeated fighters to be like, we need to see you lose. Like, so even if they want to retire, it's like, no, you can't retire because this dude could beat you. You got to go fight this guy. And like, then, again, they beat that guy. It's like, oh no, but then this guy. It's like, for some reason, that's our society. It's like, we don't want, it like bothers us to see these dudes like retire on top. Or like, we want to see them mortalized and like beat, So it's like, hats off to these dudes that actually have the willpower, like Khabib or hopefully Tyson now to be like, I've done what I need to do. I'm satisfied. Like, I'm going to walk away. Like, I don't need
I think with Khabib, it was more so just an honor thing more than anything.
Like, I believe that motherfucker for sure. Like, he is not coming back. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no,
like,
I think with Khabib, it was just an honor thing. Like, had it been a situation where his dad not passed, I think he'd probably be fighting. But the fact that like it was his dad and everything, like he just, it's that honor piece of it. So
exactly,
his situation is a little bit different. But I mean, that makes sense though. I mean, because you even look at this fact of like what with Floyd or whatever, right? And who he fought in his last fight, people were pissed about.
Mm-hmm.
It was like him, like
Yep.
you're gonna beat him, right? They weren't happy about it. And I think a lot of it was that we had to wait for him and that Pacquiao fight, and you know what I mean. So
yeah, it's nuts. But yeah, I don't know if that's it for him. After I heard Kamaru say that, I had to like kind of refrain from that, even though like I miss seeing Khabib fighting, and I'll definitely miss watching Tyson fight. It's like I don't want to be that dude after hearing Usman say that, because I'm like, you're absolutely right, bro. For some reason, that's just kind of how we are. We're like, no, I got to see him fight again. No, I get like if your time's up and you feel like, I mean, you've made generational wealth, you've done everything you needed to do in the sport, like, and it's a brutal sport. Like it's like, you know what I mean? Like you can get really hurt. You could die in that ring. I mean,
you got to maximize that. I mean, they're literally in the same boat as like a fucking NFL player, right? Like you have to maximize your earning potential in that short window. So, yeah.
I mean, do you want to switch over to what happened last night, bro?
Bruh.
Your boy, man.
I've never seen both of them that just succumb to the moment.
Yep, we're referring to Kyrie and KD, by the way. That's
right. Yeah. They just, both of them look like a shell of themselves. Yeah. KD he shot 11 times. At least in game one, he shot the ball 24 times, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like empty the clip, like do something, but you just not even trying to shoot the ball.
You think it's more mental for him, or more just like the schemes that the Celtics are playing defensively, and like how much?
I think it's both. I think they got in his head because they've been physical and he's been struggling, and he's like, because he even said it himself in the post-game interview where he was like, I'm just thinking too much. They got in his head.
Yeah, you shouldn't say that for the masses, bro. That's because
they literally got in his head. He's like, I'm just thinking too much, because he's steadily, he's looking at film and he's like, okay, well, these guys are open because they're double teaming me. Let me pass on the ball. And it's like, at some point, passing the ball is not an option. The ball in your hand is the best option. Figure it out. But there's times where he's just one-on-one and Tatum is literally just clamping him up, bro.
He's a superstar, bro.
Dude has been balling. But then they're also doing a much better job of picking their option and attacking it. The thing that's frustrating me, so part of it, I think, is Kyrie and KD. The other part of it that is frustrating me is Steve Nash is not doing a good job of putting out a proper lineup out there. You're steadily trying to make a lineup work with Kyrie, Seth Curry, and Patty Mills. They all like under 6'2", 6'3", going up against Marcus Smart, who's 6'5", Jaylen Brown, who's 6'7", and Jason Tatum, that's 6'8", 6'9". That doesn't work. You need to match that size. The first time in the series, he played Blake Griffin, who I felt like he should have been playing in this series. And then you also have Kessler Edwards, who is 6'6", I think. You have him playing. Granted, he's a rookie, but like at least he'll be a little bit better on defensive end. Not to mention, you think about it, they let go of James Johnson in favor of Kessler Edwards. So you gave up a really good wing defender and someone that's a little bit more experienced for this guy that you're not even playing right now.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And a good defender at that too that they gave away. You know what I mean? Like it's like
that part. Or like you holding on to like that rookie Cam Johnson. Like you holding on to him as a right, like put him on the two-way contract. You should have bring James Johnson back and have Kessler Edwards and James Johnson. So now you got more versatility. But now you got this really short guard rotation, and then you have this small-bodied front court with KD and Nick Claxton, and then you over here trying to play this 1-2-2 zone defense that doesn't make sense because they're going to eat you up on the baseline rather than going to a 2-3 zone.
Yeah.
Like does
zone defense work in the playoffs? Like that to me
it can if you run the right one. The thing is that they needed to go into. They were in a 1-2-2. They needed to go into a 2-3 so that way they have more baseline defenders. Because then when they went man and like that whole second half, they were just literally going. Everybody was around the perimeter. They were going pick and roll between Tatum and Jaylen Brown, and going and picking that Patty Mills or Steph Curry. That was it.
Yep.
And they were just in there, so nobody was in the lane, so they were easily just getting to the basket. They couldn't stop them.
No, they really couldn't, man. It's like they've like snatched their soul, bro. Like I know that sounds like after you just laid that out so beautifully, like scheme wise, and that's more of just like a generality thing to say, but it's like you watch and it's just the energy that the Celtics are playing with and that like tenacity, and it's like Brooklyn just looks like they can't match it. I mean,
they're not afraid. After that, it's literally after that game one where they lost by that layup.
Yeah, that was the turn of the tide.
It's just been like, what is going on? What are we doing?
Yeah. Do you think it's just the point where it's like, can Kyrie and KD, are they just not dudes that can lead a team to a championship? I know that's such a simple thing to say, but like, is that a possibility?
I think they can. They just don't have the roster right now. It just doesn't work.
Just because of defense, like they just can't stop anyone.
Like, of course, look, they were the worst. It was the top. They were lowest defensive rated team this year.
Yeah, right. And it's crazy they were still the favorites going into the season. It's just everyone was like, well, they'll just outscore everyone, you know. But
they can't, especially not with not having James Harden. They can't do it.
Yeah, yeah. I think I was talking to my buddy about this last night. I think in Kyrie's case, and again, this kind of, I don't want to be prisoner of the moment. I get like, you know, this is just like when they're at their lowest, doesn't mean people can bounce back. Like they for sure can. But when I look at Kyrie's career up to this point, man, I think him winning that championship, not obviously that's a great thing by itself, like on a piece of paper, but winning that championship was like the worst thing for his mentality going forward. Like it just seemed like when I saw him play those 3 years with Bron, I look at that and I'm like, I feel like that's the best I've ever seen Kyrie play, and it's the best I'm ever going to see him play. It just seemed like after that, man, like, I don't know. He's like, when he's playing, it still looks like an artist out there. Like he's a beautiful basketball player. Like I'm not saying he's worse. I'm just saying like from the competitive mindset, it just seems like Kyrie's not in it like he was. Like maybe it's just like you have that hunger to win that first ring and then you get it. And like, I don't know. I'm not in his mindset at all, but it's just like from what I've seen, it's like since that ring and then he requested the trade and just wanted to do his own thing. It's just been like downhill from there, you know. That's the way I look at it.
I don't know. I mean, we also got to keep in mind he had what injuries he was dealing with. And I think he was just kind of finding himself, especially when he was in Boston.
Sure.
But I don't think from a competitive standpoint that was the case. I think he just had maybe he just wanted to prove something, understand that like that year before in the finals when Cleveland lost to the Warriors, he wasn't there, right? And everybody was kind of speculating. So then like when they got back, I think he was like, hey, I'm here this time.
He sure was, man.
What I believe is going on this time around is just the fact that like they just don't, they really right now, the roster is not that great, especially defensively. And then they're going to be kind of dependent upon Ben Simmons to try to potentially come into this game 4 and try to
avoid the sweep, bro. Keep sitting out, man. I wouldn't even want to get into that mess if I was Ben Simmons.
I mean, I think at some point he's going to have to get in the court. Might as well just do it because he's not like he's going to play a whole game. He may play like 15, 20
yeah,
at most. But I'm not going to lie. I think they need to reevaluate that roster, and they need to reevaluate Steve Nash as their coach.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
Like they have not gotten better defensively. So it's either you evaluate Steve Nash as a coach, or you need to bring in a defensive specialist coach. Either like you need to figure something out because that for me is not working.
Mm-hmm.
But then Kevin Durant mentioned this as the season was kind of coming to an end. You remember before he went out, they were first or second in the East.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then he was gone for about 15 games or so, and they lost like 11 or 12 of them.
Yep. That's true.
He said him going out completely derailed their season, and he's not wrong. Because that team has not been the same since.
Mm-hmm. That's true. I would agree.
I mean, you think about it. James Harden left at that point. Kyrie was still in limbo. Like it.
Yeah.
At that point, the season just went off rail.
Well, I mean, like at this point, if they lose, which it looks like they're going to, is next season the do or die for the KD Kyrie duo, and then they blow that up if that doesn't work? Or do you think like they're gonna just keep hacking at that?
I don't think it has to be a blow up. I mean, granted, KD's getting a little bit older, but it doesn't like his skill is diminishing or anything.
No, not at all.
And Kyrie's still relatively young. They just they have to get the pieces around them to figure it out.
I agree.
That's really it. It's literally those pieces.
What's so weird though, like we were just talking about the timidness or whatever, like him being in his head. But even before last night's game where that was clear, I think before that it was more of like arguable because like you said, he was still actually putting up shots. I was just surprised by, we always talk about how efficient he is, just a lack of efficiency that he was getting his point. It was like he was missing so many shots, man. Like, again, credit to the Celtics defense, but like this whole series has just been so crazy to me to see.
He's averaging 22 points. He's never averaged 22 points in a playoff series.
Yeah. We have 16
the
last
lowest
night.
He's ever averaged in the series.
Yeah. They get 16 last night. He has 19 field goals made this series and 17 turnovers. That's insane.
Turnovers, and that's the biggest thing I think in this whole series is the fact that like they are turning the ball over as a whole unit way too much. Like the Celtics yesterday had like over 30 points off a turnover.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Man, that's crazy.
Many of them were just like live ball turnovers.
Yep. I mean, KD by himself is averaging like 5.5 a game for the series. It's like, granted, he's got the ball the most, but it's like, holy shit, man. Like they are just all over him. Like it's crazy to watch. Do you think the Celtics, being that Middleton could be out, could they be the favorites to win this now? Like coming out of the East at least?
Well, Middleton should be back by the second round, I believe. They said he's only going to be out for a couple of weeks. I don't know if I can go there.
No,
because even without Middleton, they went and popped. Like the Bucks popped the Bulls, bro.
They did.
By 30.
They did.
And I don't know what the hell is going on with Zach LaVine, bro. Ever since that injury, bro, he has not.
Yeah, he hasn't looked the same.
But I don't know if I could. I mean, but that Celtics team is coming. Like that is a dangerous team, bro. And now that Robert Williams is starting to come back, I wouldn't put it. I would say they're definitely going to go to the Eastern Conference Finals. That matchup with the Bucks, and who knows if it is the Bucks, bro. Like it could be Miami. Miami matches up really well with the Bucks, and we've seen what they can do to Giannis.
Yep, exactly.
Like Bam matches up with him really well.
What's the series with Chicago and Milwaukee right now? Is it 2-1?
Milwaukee 2-1 or 3-1? 3-1.
It's 3-1.
2-1.
I think it's 2-1. I don't think anyone's played 4 games yet.
Hold on, they're playing right now.
Okay.
It's not showing it right now, but it's 2-1. It's 2-1 because they're still in Chicago.
Okay.
But I don't.
Can't give them that yet. I understand.
I don't know. I know. I definitely can feel like they can go to the Eastern Conference Finals. I just don't know. As with them in Milwaukee, who guards Giannis?
Yeah, it has to be Tatum.
And if that's Tatum, that's gonna mean some foul trouble.
Yeah, right. And that will take a lot out of him on the defensive end. And that's my big thing with them. I think it's dependent on Tatum because they're a fantastic defensive team regardless, but it's like for them to be considered like top tier like this, it's like Tatum's going to have to consistently be like how he was last night. Like if Tatum can elevate to be like that kind of superstar, man, he's so good, bro. Like I love watching him play.
He is, bro. His game is so smooth.
Right. That jumper, the mid range.
Man. And that's another thing, bro. I started to notice because I was literally thinking about this. One, KD is not the best player in the league right now.
Yeah,
And I don't think he like at the end of the season. I think it was clear that Giannis is the best player in the league.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm sitting here thinking, LeBron now on this Nets team, would they have gotten a game? I'm going to say yes.
Really? I just
because
like the same reasons you brought up, though, the defense.
KD can't do that LeBron can. KD's not a good driver of the basketball. And that's draws fouls. KD is not. How many times have we seen KD drive and he loses his balance, he like frailing all over the place. Like it's just for some reason he doesn't have a good base.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Where like the one thing that KD or that LeBron's gonna do is he's gonna get to the basket, he's gonna be strong at the basket.
Mm-hmm.
And I honestly believe with Bron, you replace Bron on the Nets, they've at least gotten the game by now.
That is interesting.
I'm gonna sit confident in saying
that's a really interesting. Yeah, that's a good take because I mean the thing is, their D is so bad that like it's hard for me to like. I understand why this is happening because that collapses everything. But to your point there, if LeBron's getting doubled, he's fine in the open man too. You know what I mean? Like it's he's not going to have all these turnovers. I mean, like he sees the court way better than Kevin Durant does. So that's a whole other. Even LeBron now though, like are we talking LeBron like in his prime or LeBron
I'm
like right now?
LeBron now. Would have at him on that Nets team, they would have gotten a game. And I'm confident with that.
Okay,
I'm confident with that.
That's interesting, bro. We're gonna have because I talked to Ricari earlier this morning. In a couple weeks, let's do like another collab with them, like on playoffs. I want you to say that to him because he's like a LeBron hater. So like that'll be interesting.
I'm just like, come on, he like, what is KD doing that like Brian wouldn't have been able to come in and do better?
At this point,
like,
yeah.
The biggest thing is like it's the turnover thing. You know, Brown wouldn't be turnover the ball, but he's a much better. He can get to the basket. KD has yet to get to the basket on his own.
No, yeah, he had that one dunk in the fourth last night, and like I think Van Gundy said it. Someone said they're like that's the easiest bucket he's gotten this whole.
But it was off of an assist.
Yeah,
that's off of an assist. It wasn't him going off the screen, off a pick and roll, and get to the basket. Brown's probably like one of the best at doing that.
Yeah, no, you're right. That would
like
be very
they blitz him so bad off that pick and roll. Like he like just completely shells up and just yeah. Like when Bruce Brown is leading your team in scoring, bro.
No, I know it's bad. My bottom line is Kyrie needed Bron and Katie needed Steph. That's where I'm going with that. They don't even realize, but now they're looking at it like shit. I think it's a good question too, kind of like bouncing off that. I was talking to Ricari about that last night. Do you think when it's all said and done, when you look back at their careers like 10 years from now, I think LeBron and Kyrie's best running mates were each other. Like that duo was just so nasty. And like, I'm sad that didn't continue to work out because they played so well off each other, you know?
Yeah. Well, because it didn't was at that point, Bron wasn't predicated on having to be like the main, he was being the main ball handler, right? Or if he just needed somebody to go and get a one-on-one bucket, knowing that they weren't going to double team off of him, you had that guy, right? That could just go and work. So yeah, I don't know, man. It's going to be interesting. Obviously, they can reload, get better defensively, and see what happens. How old is KD? Is he 34, 35? 33, 34, one of those.
Yeah. I mean, he's still got probably another good 5 years in him. Maybe not like prime, but like, I mean, he's got time. Kyrie's still pretty young. He's like 30, right? Maybe 30. He's like 29.
Kyrie's 30.
So he's got time.
He's 33. He'll be 34 here in about 5 months or so. But they still got time, but they gotta get longer and they gotta get better defensively.
I just feel like the only time was last year, really, at the end of that playoff series with the Bucks. Like they lost, but obviously the Nets were so depleted. And I was like, KD was shouldering that team, man. Like he was just balling, right? So like I was very impressed with him at the end of the last season. I'm sure we talked about it. Like, you know, even though I'm not like his biggest fan as a dude, like I was like, he killed it, man. Now I'm looking at him now and I'm kind of back to where I was before. Like when he was on Golden State, I'm like, I am just not confident he can take a team. Like he can be the guy like on a team that's like, get on my back, fam. Like we're fucking doing this. I know they're depleted, but it's just
it's tough
until I see it, I don't know. Until I see it, I don't know.
The reason why it's tough to say that is because had Harden and and Kyrie not got injured,
Yeah,
they were
definitely.
coming out of the East last year, bro.
Yeah,
They were gonna come out the East. Like the Bucks had no answer for them.
yeah, that is
That
true.
team was stacked.
Those first two
But
teams,
it's
those first two games
but it's
were.
funny to think about this though, because how small the Nets are. You think about the players that they gave up, right? And now you look at it, right?
Right.
They gave up LeVert, Dinwiddie. They gave up Torian Prince,
Jared Allen, right?
Jared. Like what else? Yeah, like they gave up all this size,
Yeah,
and
they
now
did,
they're
bro.
like devoid of it. They have none,
Mm-hmm.
and you had it.
And it didn't even work out because then they got rid of Harden. Like it was like,
right. That's what I'm saying though. Like you just gave away this talent that you could be using right now.
Yep. I mean, and then maybe when Ben Simmons comes back, it'll help. It'll be interesting for them to run that back next season.
Help. It'll definitely help. It ain't gonna help this series.
No.
They make it a game. They make it game 4, and that's about it. I don't know.
I think it's
over. We're gonna
over.
go past that.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm with you there. I think maybe the next game they could win just to make it interesting, or like say they didn't get swept. But I think Boston will close it back out at home the next game, and that crowd's gonna be fucking letting KD and Kyrie have it, bro. If Kyrie thought he had it bad before, holy shit.
Yeah.
It's about to get brutal over there. What do you think is the most interesting series so far?
That Dallas and Jazz, and then the Timberwolves and Grizz.
That's mine. Timberwolves and Grizzlies.
But that Dallas and like Luka has not been there. Jalen Brunson, bro, is dropping like 35. Like dude is going crazy, leading that team to 2 wins. And then they pull off the game yesterday with Luka being back. But I like one of these teams got to make it out the first round. Neither one of these teams have made out the first round
in a while. Long time.
So
I don't know if the Jazz have since they beat Russ with fucking Paul George and Carmelo that one year,
it's been a while, bro.
Yeah, it really has.
So yeah, they got to figure something out, man. And like with the Jazz, it's like they lose this first round,
they're blowing it up.
You think so? Because it's like, what you blow it up to? What though?
Well, I just think they're gonna trade Gobert. That's what I would think. It just seems like something is off there, dude. Like they're mentally just like it's
I don't think
weird.
It's Gobert. I think it's Conley.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not blaming it on Gobert. I just think they're gonna get rid of him. But yeah, Conley too, bro. Ever since he's went to the Jazz, he hasn't been what they thought he was gonna be.
Makes way too fucking much.
That's what I mean.
Money.
For the contract he got. Hell no, bro.
Well, he's got that contract because when he was in Memphis, but he's making way too much money for him to just be wetting the bed like this, bro.
Yeah, bro. Because there was a while there, that huge period of time where he was one of those most underrated player in the leagues. Like he wasn't making all-star teams because of how stacked the West guards were, but like he was a consistent like 20-8 player, like was a great 3-point shooter. And now it's like, yeah, like he's a liability shooting the ball. Like I don't know what happened to him.
This is just not good, bro.
The Minnesota thing is crazy to me though, just to see like the back and forth with that, and like how Cat pulled off like a fucking KD game this series in game 2, and then like came back last night and was a beast. Like, it's just like, it's bizarre. It's very bizarre.
He's been up and down, but like Edwards has been balling, man.
Yeah.
Ant has been balling. D-Lo, I love D-Lo's game, man. I really do. Like he's so smooth. He's so under control. And just understanding the stuff that he's kind of went through with being with the Lakers and everything.
Yeah,
like
bro.
it's just good to watch D-Lo.
He plays with pace.
He's just the game is just so smooth, man. But like the thing right now, I think with that Memphis and Minnesota game is like Jaren Jackson Jr. I don't know where he's been, bro.
Has he been anywhere all season?
At all?
Yeah, bro. I feel like that's been this whole season. I just feel like it seemed like he was a dude that was willing to take the step forward, and I just have not seen that from him. Like this year,
he like this series. I don't know what it is, but like I don't know if like when Cat dunked on him, if that zapped his powers or nothing. I don't know, but like, dude, he just has not been playing. Like you're supposed to be the second best player in the team, but you're not playing like.
No. Even Ja, bro, like he's had some good games, but he's not shot the ball efficiently at all this whole
No,
series. You know, he just has not been making
it
shots.
hasn't. But I mean, but shout out for those. I mean, because both those series have been just really good series.
Yeah, coming back from 25 down or whatever, that was pretty fucking
Yeah,
crazy.
26
bro.
down. That shit was crazy, bro. And then I just loved that fucking moment between Ja Morant's dad and Carl Anthony Towns' dad when they were just talking shit to one another, but it was just like a friendly, mutual thing. Like, you know,
Yeah, it was
you
cool.
proud of your son, the fact that we can have this moment. That was a dog ass moment, bro.
That was
That
cool.
was just a dog ass moment.
That was cool. That's my favorite series so far. It's going back and forth.
And Ja Morant dad, that guy, he's entertainment, bro. He's entertainment, bro. I love it. That's entertainment.
It really is. I hope that goes 7, because then a game 7 would really be like, all right, who's the man amongst boys here? Who's going to dig deep and win this? You know, that'd be cool. And it looks like we might get that, man. It's 2-2, right? So
yeah, 2-2. So hopefully we get it. Hopefully we get it though.
Is Jokic being exposed, or are they just depleted? Like
they're depleted, and it's not fair. Like, the dude is literally without his 2 next best players. And I mean, that last game was kind of relatively close. So I don't think he's being exposed. It's just not a good matchup. It's not a good matchup. But then also, like, bruh, that Jordan Poole,
that whole team, bro,
has arrived.
Yeah, yeah.
Jordan Poole has arrived.
He's a bucket.
Like, dude has just turned it, and then now Clay has it clicking. Steph is like, so because the question's been going around, like, do you keep Steph on the bench? Like, for the rest of this series, I would. I definitely would. Oh, come on.
Damn, she's got a bark on her now, bro.
No, that is not my dog. That's my friend's dog.
I was going to say, bro. I was like, that's 20 pounds?
Be quiet. Hey.
So that was your little miniature doodle.
She don't. No.
It's like, damn, bro.
Got this pit and boxer. Hey.
That sounds more like it. Okay. That
chill out. Hold on, man.
That took me for a loop there. I was like, holy shit, bro.
You was like, what the fuck? Where did that come from?
Yeah, bro.
No, my dog was on the couch chilling. Like, what the hell is going on around here?
That's fucking funny, man. Yeah, I think the Warriors are the favorites in the West right now, watching them play.
Oh, yeah.
Especially if Book's out. We don't know what's going on with that, you know.
Yeah, so. I mean, definitely. I mean, they said he's going to be out like a couple of weeks, so, but it's definitely, I feel like it's going to be them in the Suns, and that's going to be a hell of a fucking series, bro.
If the Suns are healthy, it will be. I mean,
that's going to be just Steph and CP again.
What's the thing, right? Book's got to come back healthy, and CP's got to not do what he does every single year in the playoffs and get hurt. So, and that's not like a critique. He's one of my favorite players of my lifetime.
He does.
It's every year.
It's a hamstring. It's a hand. It's a shoulder.
It's something.
It's something. It is something.
What a series that would be, though. And I was so mad for Book, bro. Like, he dropped going crazy that game. He had like 31 in the first half of that game.
Right.
And just like, he is a dog, man. Like, that dude is.
He was balling, bro. What, he had like 30 in the first half or something?
31.
Like that?
Yeah. Same way you just talked about, you know, what's his name? Timberwolves.
Oh, D'Lo?
D'Lo, yeah. I feel the same way about fucking, almost a J-Lo. Book. That's just such a smooth game, man. Such a good mid-range.
His game is.
I always say it. He plays like Kobe in the sense that he gets to his spots. He's like, I need to get off this pick and get to the elbow, and I know I can rise up on whoever it is, and I'm going to knock this shot down. Like, it's beautiful.
I was watching that boardroom, and it's like KD, JJ Redick. They were talking about, like, what player do you like seeing? And they both mentioned Book.
Mm-hmm.
And then KD mentioned this, and when he mentioned, I was like, damn, that dude makes sense. Like, you see Book coming into his own now, right? Because I think before, like, he was trying to be Kobe, right? But now it's like he's starting to come into his own and just being Devin Booker, bro. And it is a sight, bro. Like, he is just nice. He really is just nice.
And that whole team is just like stars in their roles. And that's the same way I feel about Golden State. So you're right. That series would just be
insane.
Must watch TV, man. Like
insane.
Oh, I hope that's what we get, man. I really do. And I think the Suns play the Pelicans tonight, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. What's the deal? We haven't talked about this. I know this is kind of old news from like a couple weeks back, but Zion, bro, like seeing like that fucking video of him dunk and all that shit. It's like, bro, what the fuck, man? He looks big. Like he
is no, he doesn't look. He is big.
Yeah.
Let's just call it. He is big. But somebody mentioned it's like the dunk. Yeah, Carly, that's cool. But like when they had the trainer that was like, closing out on him and he was going by, that's when he looked slow.
Mm-hmm.
Like that first step was methodical
mm-hmm.
and like there was no giddy up in that, bro. Like there was no blow by.
I was thinking about this the other day just randomly, and I was like, I would think, and I'm not in these guys' shoes, but if I'm like Zion right now, and obviously he's got a lot of money now from that rookie deal, and I'm sure he's got endorsements and shit. It's like, why would you not reach out to LeBron and be like, I need what you're doing, man. Like, you spend $1 million in your body a year. Like, we're a similar, but like, what are you doing? Who are you training? Like, set me up, like nutritionists. Like, who should I be looking for? What type of recovery should I be doing? You know what I mean? Like, it's like you have this much injury problems already, and it's like your body is your business, man. Like, and you haven't even really got off the ground yet. You had a really good, 40 game stretch last year, and like, it's scary, man. Like, I'm worried for him. Seriously, like I don't want to see that career derailed of such a freak athlete, like that's.
Yeah. If I wouldn't reach out to LeBron. He needs to reach out to one of these NFL trainers.
Okay.
Because that's his build.
Mm-hmm.
Like he literally is a fucking like DN.
Yeah, he is.
Right. So, but that's who I would reach out to. But it's because it's not necessarily like the weightlifting or anything like that, but that's how he needs to get with one definitely needs to get with a nutritionist, but I think he needs to get with the NFL trainer, and minus the weightlifting, that's the type of like workouts that he needs to be doing.
Okay, yeah,
that's what I think. He has to think outside the box with regards to just like his body type. Because
he is, bro. You're right. DeMarcus Lawrence looking ass. He's fucking
like for real, dog. For real. Oh, Booger McFarland looking motherfucker. Like.
Have you seen that picture people do of him? They're like Zion on 30 years.
It's his uncle. I'm guaranteeing it's his uncle. Bro, but he literally has to go. He has to think outside the box with this shit because trying to be he literally looked like he on an Ocho Cinco diet. He just eating McDonald's every day. Like, do we got an endorsement deal with McDonald's? He may, because that's what he's eating. That and sitting there drinking Mountain Dew.
Bro. Like it's bad, man. He's got to get that figured out. I mean, like same criticism for Luka, but I mean, Luka's fuking playing at least, and he doesn't look terrible. I mean, every year he comes in training camp,
but then he starts to get himself in shape. Like Zion, just
bro.
But at least like with Luka, his out of shape is him being maybe like 230, 240.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Not 290, 300, bro.
That's that, right? So like it's still like playable. It's gonna be a while, but still playable. Zion, damn near the biggest person in the fucking league, and he's 6 inches shorter than Boban. Like, come on, 6'8". Bro.
Yeah,
like Jokic ain't even that big.
They're gonna be dangerous if he can get back and be Zion, bro. I mean, that team. I love Brandon Ingram's game too, man. That dude is so fun to watch, man. Like, so smooth.
Yeah, and CJ. I love CJ in that leadership role that he's in with the Pelicans. I love it. And he's been on lock, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's literally been on lock. Now that he's not with Dame, right? Like his full game has just been on display, and CJ's just dope, bro. Like his game is nice.
He is, bro. He's just a straight bucket, man. And what are they? That's 2-1, right? They play tonight.
Yeah,
so
2-1. Yeah, that'll be game in New Orleans.
Yeah, so this is a crucial game for them. They basically got to win, I think. And shout out to Chris Paul, man. He put that team on his back in that last game and just did his thing, bro.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was it's going to be interesting. A lot of like turning point games today, like the Heat and Hawks. Obviously, the Hawks, same thing. Pretty much got to win, otherwise that series is a stranglehold. I think the Warriors close out tonight. I have no reason to think Nuggets can do anything there. But,
yeah, they just don't. They don't have it. All right.
Go ahead.
Well, draft is coming up.
Mm-hmm.
what is it on Thursday? Starts on Thursday. You the Jazz. Who you drafting?
It's again one of those things with all those teams that are always in the top, like Detroit. It's like you have so many options you can go that like there's a lot that I wouldn't be mad with. You got your quarterback last year, even though he didn't have a great year. I assume they're sticking with him for a while. I wouldn't be mad with them if they took like a D end or something like that. I mean, they got what's his name, Josh Allen, who's a beast. Is he a D end or is he a D like inside lineman? I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Regardless, even if he's a D end, I would still probably. I think Hutchinson's the move, man. Like I think any of those top 3 teams would be looking to take that dude. That dude is a fucking beast.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, I think it has to be. I think it has to be Hutchinson. One thing that I've been surprised about though with the draft is how the stock of Thibodeau has fallen.
A lot.
Like, because he was projected like number 1, and then Hutchinson kind of came on, but then he was like they're gonna go 1, 2, but now he's fallen to like 5.
Yeah, it's weird. It seems like that happens every year. Like there's players that like for a while everyone's like they're gonna be top 5, and then they just start slipping. It's kind of bizarre.
It is weird. It is weird.
But yeah, I think Hutchinson's the move. If I'm any of those top 3 teams, I'm taking him if he's there, obviously. For those,
what are you doing if you're the Lions?
If Hutchinson's not there, I still think you got to go. I don't know who it would be, but I still think you got to go like D-line. Like you say it the best, man. They need to get pressure on opposing teams' quarterbacks, man. Like that's like they just give teams way too much time to fuck around in the backfield and fucking even on broken plays and just run around back there and find like an open broken play route. It's bad. So they need some defensive pressure for sure.
Yeah, I would go Thibodeau if I was them. Like it just they don't get any pressure because I think there was rumors that they may go Gardner from Cincinnati to corner, but it doesn't matter how good a corner you are. If you can't get pressure on the quarterback and they break out the pocket, a corner can only keep
because at that point the receiver's going anywhere he wants. He's not going to his designated route. He's going to just run to where he's open, and it's like they have to they already have the O line. I think pretty solid. I really do think the O line for the Lions is pretty solid, but that D line is fucking trash. Yeah, it is, bro. Yeah, I'm with you. It's got to be one of those 2 defensive ends to start for either of those teams because that's like what they really both need. Jacksonville, honestly, who fucking knows what they're gonna do? I think now that I don't think they'll go receiver.
I mean, I think they're gonna go with Hutchinson. I think they just need the line, and now that they got rid of the circus that was in fucking town with Urban. That'll hopefully kind of
grinding on girls in the bar and shit after
games. Like, I know it's your bar and all, but what the fuck are you doing?
He didn't go home on the team bus and shit like that. He's like, nah, I'm gonna catch this ass real quick, boys. You guys get home.
Let me dumbass.
Yeah, bro. It's gonna be wild though. Saints got 2 picks. I'm pumped about that. See what we can do.
Bro, I ain't even like the Jets got a shit ton of picks.
They do have a lot. They have 2
or 3. They got
3.
4 in the first round.
They have 4? I thought they had 3. Damn,
I thought it was 4. Am I wrong?
Seattle has 9th. I wonder what they're going to do. That's interesting to me as well.
Hold on.
Yeah,
I think it's like maybe 4 in the first couple rounds. But like, bro, they.
He doesn't like the Jets.
Hey, okay, thank you. You such a good job. You're amazing. All right.
He's just keeping people out, bro.
Bruh, he is over here wild, and my dog woke up again. Like, can you chill out?
Do they get along?
They do get along.
That's good. Yeah, I don't know. Seattle's intriguing to me because they got a number 9 pick. Like, what are they going to do? Because, Russ is gone. Are they going to go quarterback? Like, are they
I think the projection is that they may go Willis.
Okay.
From Liberty, but who knows? Who knows? All I know, I am. It'll be interesting to see what happens with this quarterback class because it's not the most like touted like, oh, you have to get one of these quarterbacks. So it'll be interesting to see like with their careers, what happens if any of them start to become like stars, or
I do
if
like
they all just
Pickett.
end up being backups. Like we'll have to really see what happens with their careers.
Yeah, I do like Pickett. Granted, his hands are small for a fucking reason that matters, but I don't doing over here doing hand stretches.
Running up behind you, and you don't got a good grip on that boy.
One of the favorite, most weird ESPN article headlines I saw, I think we talked about this a couple months ago, was just Pickett's hand size increases by a quarter of an inch. I was like, okay, bro, what the fuck does that mean? Like, what is your stretching his fingers?
It was warm out that day. You put some lotion on.
There you go. Yeah. Shout out to Miggy, man.
Hey,
that's
3,000 hits, 500 homers,
300 batting average. That's only him, Hank Aaron, and I think Willie Mays.
Yeah,
that's it, bro. Absolute elite company.
They were pissed in New York about him walking them.
Yeah, they were, bro. That was funny.
But I don't blame that. I do not blame that GM. Like, you're not about to get their record on my team. Fuck all that.
Yeah, it's like nah.
Let somebody else get you. You get let you
not
get the
happening.
Record. It's not gonna happen on my team. I'm good.
So is Miggy? I don't want to say the greatest, but up there, greatest Detroit athletes.
I think you got to put him up there. I think you got to put him up there. Triple Crown winner. I think you got league MVP. Couple of. I
think he has 2 MVPs.
Does he have 2? He may have 2. So I mean,
World Series appearance. Didn't he win one?
I think
his
he
first
be up
year.
there.
Actually, I think he may have won one when he played for the.
Yeah, the Marlins.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I think you got to definitely put him up there. He just, later part of his career, just got injured and.
Yeah, I mean,
just started to let all their assets go.
Yeah.
Verlander, Scherzer, Castellanos, like they were just letting
that
guys
whole
go
pitching lineup, bro. I mean, early 2010s, we had Porcello, Anibal Sanchez, and then David Price.
Fucking lineup, bro. Lineup.
That was crazy, bro. It's literally like what LA's lineup is of pitchers now. Like it's
insane, man.
Absolutely nuts.
The peak of the Tigers.
Yeah. Nah, Detroit's just dead, bro. It'll be interesting to see. A couple years, maybe someone will turn it around. And then Cade didn't win Rookie of the Year.
That's what I was just about to say. Cade got 3rd in the Rookie of the Year voting.
Don't agree with that, but I'm probably biased. So
I mean, I figured that that Scotty Barnes was going to win, just because you think statistically he was in the top 3 in all of the statistical categories. So it made sense, and I think with Mobley, I think him defensively and the things that brought. I don't know if Cade should have finished 3rd, but I think they were just so high on Mobley and him defensively that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, it's what it is. I think he's a really good player, though. I do think he's got a bright future. If Detroit can keep this young core and add some more pieces, I mean, they've got some promise,
Yeah.